Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I am your host, June Archer. This is the Winner Circle. And today, this is going to be something that is going to blow your mind, especially if you're a hip hop head, if you're about the culture, if you're about art and culture, and you're about that life when it comes to hip hop. My guest today, producers of an amazing documentary, I had the privilege of being able to see this Tale of the Tape, how the mixtape revolutionized hip hop. I have producers Malik Buie and my friend, my sister, the one I love so much for all her contribution. They both of them have contributed to this culture. Kim Osorio, family, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And I want to say this: I'm so proud of this project. I want to start there. For those who will have the opportunity to see this, and I suggest you make sure you go out and see it, or at least stream it. This documentary dives into something that I said at the top, revolutionized, but it did something different. It changed the lives of so many. When we're talking about DJs and artists, Malik, what was the inspiration for this project?
I mean, honestly, the inspiration was my love of hip hop. Um, I found that through the years, I've been documenting hip hop, producing hip hop content for a very long time, and whether it was artists, DJs, whomever, they all the uh, the connecting tissue was the mixtape. Everybody always either came from the mixtape, they invested in the culture, and they were always a part of it. It was like their launching pad. So, you know, once I seen that, I was like, you know what, I want to explore this a bit more. Growing up in Brooklyn, I remember as a young kid going to really wanting to get a Kick Pre tape, wanting to get my hands on the Kick Pre tape. Right, he was he's the Michael Jordan of this, right? And me and several of my friends at the time, we were like junior high school. We're in Brooklyn, the tape sell in Harlem. We basically had to draw straws to see who was going to sneak after school to go on the train to buy this tape, right? We would put our money together. Thank God it wasn't me, because my mother would have killed me if she found out I went on the train. But my friend Stanley actually was the one that had to go up to Harlem. He got the tape. He came back. We duplicated it, and the rest is history.
Now, for you, Kim, you've been a curator of the culture from the periodical side. So I know I lost people when I said periodical. They call them magazines, right? Um, you put the source on your back. You were in that space as a woman of color, doing something that hadn't been done the way it had been done, and you had the privilege and the honor to see these artists, these DJs, come across your environment. What was that like? And then being a part of this documentary, to be a producer, to make this come to life when you were part of the culture to begin with.
Thank you, June. Thank you for your warm welcome and your kind words. Um, I do appreciate that. But when we talk about my career at the source and how long, my career predates the source, because getting to the source, I was working in the culture, but I'm really of the culture. I'm from the Bronx. I love mixtape culture. And then years ago, I transitioned into television. So I've been working in TV for a while, and it's really been about the storytelling of it all throughout my career, no matter where I work. So people are familiar with my name from the source, but I've been working in TV now and on projects with Malik longer than I was. Now, if
That's
I if I,
true.
if I do the math, I've been in television now longer than I was writing for magazines,
Right.
because I think I transitioned around 2005 after I left the source. So it's a long time, but the common thread with everything that I do is the story. And I think that's something I did back then at the source, whether it was the written word or visually on projects like Tale of the Tape. And I just want to be able to continue to tell those stories and bring them to life.
And bring them to life, you do. And you do it very well. I want to go to the piece where this is a labor of love, because as I dove into it, I see friends, and Malik and I were talking about this backstage, Kim. I see friends like Reggie O, who was my attorney as a recording artist.
Hmm.
A lot of people know him as Combat Jack, and we know that he has since passed. And then you have SNS, Kid Capri, Envy, Clue. This took you guys have been working on this for a while, and some of this things is archived. Why now?
Why not now, right? I mean, we've been working on this project for over 10 years. It is a labor of love. We've funded every aspect of production out of our own pockets, from soup to nuts with this. And, we finally came to a point where we were like, we are ready for this for the world to see this. As perfectionists, you always want to do more and possibly go and open up the story and do this and that. And me and Kim went back and forth.
I was going to cut in and say he's talking about me when he says you always want to do more and open up the story, because that's me. Like, I'm never finished with anything. And as we were doing this, and that's not the reason why it took 10 years, but as we were doing this, every time we got together and screened it, or, we're talking about just putting it out there, I wanted to open it up. I'm like, oh, but we forgot this. Oh, we forgot that. Oh, we need to interview this person. There comes a certain point where you just kind of gotta pull the plug and say, okay, we're done. Like, everything's over. We need to put it out there, and we can continue it with other future projects later.
And that's why you see the disclaimers there, right? It says, look, we cannot address every mixtape, DJ, every mixtape artist, but this is our initial part of our contribution to the culture with this doc series.
Right. With anything, you aren't going to please everybody. And we're talking about, we just coming off a major celebration of 50 years of hip hop. So when you try to narrow that down within an hour and a half, someone's going to get left off. Someone's going to feel slighted. But I think you guys capture the essence of why it was created, who takes credit for it, who takes it to the next level, who becomes the Michael Jordan of it, but then who capitalizes off of it monetarily. For y'all, I want to ask you, Malik, first, your top 5 mixtapes of all time.
My top 5 mixtapes of all time. I'm going to go with Kid Capri, 52 Beats. I'm going to do DJ Doo-Wop, 95 Live. I'm going to go with DJ Envy, March Madness.
It's a good one.
I'm going to do DJ Drama, Gangsta Grill's first one with Lil Wayne. And then I'm going to do an artist, and I'm going to say 50 Cent is the Future.
You took one of mine.
I mean, everybody.
So we have two. June, there's no way I'm going to sit on this interview and name 5 mixtapes. This is telling you straight up. I don't remember. But, because we've done this now, like, right? We're doing interviews, and every interview I say, when you finish this interview, you better go listen to the tapes. The interesting thing about this, right, is that, so I come from a certain era. So my mixtape favorites are all like early 90s. One of the, and I still haven't found the name, because me and Malik have talked about it. I'd be like, that Kid Capri tape? He thinks it's 52. What'd you say? You think it's
52 beats? It's 52 beats. You don't think it is. You don't think it's that. I don't know why, but it is.
I can remember certain things about it. Remember I told you about the funeral I went to? Anyway, that's a whole nother story, June. But, these mixtapes it's not like you can get them on Apple Music or Spotify.
Right.
So for me to be able to say that, I can tell you, I listened to Kid Capri, Ron G, SNS. These are the early tapes, Brucey B, that I can remember, right? But I can't go back because I can't research it anymore. I would have to actually have those tapes in my possession, the cassettes,
and go through all of them, and literally go through all of them.
The funny thing is, I might have some of them in my basement. Like, so I swear I'm going to do it when I clean up my basement to find these tapes, right? Because, and I don't know the reason for this. This begs for a part 2, right? But making these tapes available, I know some of the DJs have them on drives, right? And they sell the drives, but I don't know if it's readily sort of for consumption, right? Like, how are they putting it out there? Malik probably knows better than me in doing the interviews with the actual DJs.
So the thing about it is that some of these tapes, they don't have names, right? Some of them have numbers, and it could be obscure. Right. Sometimes the DJ has numbers that are repetitive, like there's 3 number ones based on certain things. I do want to add for my top 5.
You left off the DJ Clue tape.
No, there's an S&S tape, and I'm not sure the name, but he broke Mace and Cam when they were part of Children of the Corn.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Whatever mixtape that song was on, that group was on, and I got to give my shouts and to S&S. Like, that one is an honorable mention.
Yeah, shout out to
I can remember, and I don't know if this was like, remember Mary J. Blige's album, the remix album, her first album?
Yep. It was Ron G.
I can remember the Ron G tape, and I don't know if the tape came before the remix or the tape inspired the remix. That would be something we would have to get out of interview, right?
That we're gonna have to get, yeah. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Yeah, we're gonna have to figure that one out. Yeah. How was the camaraderie when you were filming this, Malik, in terms of mixtape DJs? I just should say DJs. When it came to talking about other DJs other than themselves, did you feel like it was a sense of camaraderie? You feel like it was still a sense of, hip hop is a spectator sport in some regard, and it's very combative. That's what it is. That's what we love about culture. How did you feel about it when you were recording with these DJs?
No, I think it's like I think DJ culture and mixtape DJ culture is an amazing community. There's a lot of camaraderie, right? I liken everything to the NBA. Like, these guys are the all-stars. We interviewed the all-stars, right? Yeah. And even though, yes, they are very competitive, they definitely have an affinity and love for each other. They appreciate one another, and they all borrow from each other, to be honest, and kind of built from there. Of course, Brucey B was one of the early originators, but once you get to like Clue and Envy, they were very well aware of, their OGs in this game and very appreciative of what they offered as they took things to the next level. Were there a little, there definitely was some competitiveness in this, because S&S was quick to say, Clue took my whole style, but he still loves Clue, right? And I'm sure Clue would say something different. But no, they definitely love each other, and it was cool. And if there was ever an issue with us getting in contact with someone, they'd be like, "Look, here's the info," or I'll text them, and let's make this interview happen.
For you, Kim, when people watch this documentary, what is the one thing you want them to walk away from learning about Tale of the Tape?
I want to make a distinction here, because I think in doing this specifically on mixtapes, we were focused in on a niche part of the culture and how mixtapes evolved throughout the years, right? But we talk a lot about DJing, and I think that the art of DJing is something that hasn't necessarily been explored in a documentary, and I think that's for a lot later, right? It's not, because you can do performance DJing, you know what I'm saying? There's so many different aspects of it, because even when you ask, what are your favorite mixtape DJs? My list of favorite mixtape DJs is going to be different than you just say generally, who are your favorite DJs, right? Because there's a whole other culture there. And I think that this is something people can walk away from and say, okay, I learned about the evolution of the mixtape and how it transformed from where it started with the DJs and then into, artist mixtapes, and how it exists even today. And I think we did a really good job of showing that sort of narrative through line.
I think you did an amazing job. The one thing I would say is I wanted more at the end, which I think is great, right? You want more. And to your point, Kim, it's who are your favorite mixtape DJs, but then you have the perspective of who's your favorite party DJ,
right?
Who's your favorite radio DJ, right? So it lends the opportunity to have these debates. I think it's great to bring these things up, because so many artists were birthed out of the mixtape, right? You talk about Cam and Mace. Right. Obviously, you got to put 50 in there, right? And there's so many more. But if it weren't for DJ, and we talk about this, and this is part of the thing that this culture is built on, right? If you don't have a Jam Master Jay playing that record,
right,
what does Run DMC look like? Right? What does Kid and Play look like? and it goes on and on. De La Soul. So we could that conversation could keep going, but I think the both of you and the team put together for this documentary do an amazing job. You guys should be super proud. Yeah, a long time coming, but as you said, Malik, right on time. Why not now? So I want to thank you both for allowing the culture to shine well past 50 years to talk about one thing in hip hop that people normally forget about, and that's the DJ. So, where can we follow you? Where can we see this, Malik, and where can we see what you are both doing? Kim, how can we follow you as well?
So the film is on Amazon Prime. You can also go to the website, taleoftheTapeFilm.com. There are direct links to go to Amazon, to Verizon, as well as Spectrum. Our Red Summer TV YouTube page, we have a lot of behind the scenes content about the film, some things that were on the cutting room floor that are on there. And on Instagram, there's Tale of the Tape Film, as well as myself, King Buie, and everybody knows Kim Osorio 1 on IG. What else what else can they
No,
find?
that was great. I was waiting to see where you were going to direct them to. You can go to my website, kimosorio.com, and that's how you can get in contact with me as well. So, but Instagram, I think, is the new telephone number.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I thank you both for your time. I know you got plenty of interviews.
Thank
Ladies
you.
and gentlemen, this is Malik Buie, my sister, Kim Osorio, the producers of Tale of the Tape. Please make sure you stream it, download it, check them out, and I promise you, you'll be glad because of it. This is your man, June Archer. This is the Winner Circle. Thank you for tuning in. And as I like to say, never leave the opportunity undone to tell somebody you love them. It may be the last opportunity you have to do so. Thank y'all for tuning in. Kim, Malik, I love you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Great
June.
greetings.
All right.